This right here is Alex Brundle.
Yes.
A professional racing driver with a whole host of racing experience, from Formula cars to historics to LMP2. He's pretty much driven everything. And somehow the other day, I managed to lure him into my house. He's still not left. But whilst he's alive and well, I thought it would be a really great idea to see how a professional racing driver would fare on this man's humble sim rig. I've always said that going from real life driving to sim is more difficult, albeit a lot less expensive, which leaves me wondering two things. One, can Alex adapt to driving on the sim rig? And two, the age-old question, is it realistic? Let's find out. So guys, you know how I did the whole sim racing to real life driver thing? This is next level because Scania invited me over to Sweden to be part of their Master the Road series, where myself and my good friend Steve Brown went up against each other in a series of challenges to see who was the best road masterer in a real truck. Steve and I were tasked with using the new Scania Service Pro driver, which helps gamify dual saving and efficient driving, and it led to a load of unique challenges that I never thought I'd see myself in. It was a ton of fun, so if you guys want to see both myself and Steve take on a host of real life trucking challenges with real consequences, then I implore you to head over to the Scania page down below where you can watch the entire series. A massive thank you to Scania for sponsoring this video. The first car we're going to test Mr. Brundle on today is this, the LMP2 in Le Mans Ultimate. And given that he's driven one of these in real life, I'm very interested to see what he makes of it.
Tyre warmers off, tyre wear real, fuel usage real. Give me a little free practice session. Straight off. Outstanding, Brundle. I remember them with much more front end than this, but I think that might be just rose tinted specs. They come with like a really specific braking technique, which is interesting to see if it translates to sim. Where you kind of like have to like just put the brakes on really slowly, like load the front up like that, and then make the front go in like that. Braking technique works, to be fair. I remember I did a really good race here in LMP3. Really cool track in LMP3 car, because they're mega over the bumps. Pinned it. Okay. Send me a lap, and then let's see how many laps it takes the tragic ex-sports car driver to beat it.
Tragic.
Broadbent attempto. So I don't really drive LMP2, that's my excuse. But I am also a someone who's spent a lot of his life on a simulator, though you wouldn't believe it right now, as I go into the Bosch sign. Bosch!
There's not a lot of front end. I don't think they have a lot of front end anyway. They're supposed to be A, easy to drive, and B, easy to drive.
Alex, you've driven like a lot of very cool things.
Yes. Just becoming aware of the great big back arch. Remind me of a cat's name, Jim.
Oh, this is Jinx.
Hi, Jinx.
Meow. But you've not driven LMP2 here, but you've driven LMP3 here, you said?
LMP3 here, yes. Yeah. We had a really good race in an LMP3 car. It's a great place to drive an LMP3 car because they're very good over the bumps. LMP2 cars, however, are turgid over the bumps, which makes Imola tricky.
Roller through, look at that, lovely. You did a 42.5.
42.5, but it was, yeah.
Which I think, which is alright.
You think?
Maybe, don't know. Right, watch this break into T1, it's going to be generational. Oh my god.
I don't know, mate, it seems to go well.
This isn't going well for me so far.
Neither me.
Look at this not going off a circuit. If only we could repeat that for more than a few corners.
Used to be a guy that lived on the inside of Toda.
Yeah?
I'm forced him to move.
It's a really sad story.
It's a great story.
He was so happy, now he's gone. Let's see what the suspension can do. See how stiff we are. Oh, we're pretty stiff.
Suspension can do that, unfortunately the splitter can't. 2.8 seconds up.
It's alright, I'm gonna...
Dominant lap from Broadbent.
A rare show of dominance from a man we didn't know could read or write. So sub 40, 139.1 there, so I reckon that's easy. I mean, like, that wasn't a great lap. I missed most of the apexes.
I'm now on the Brundle cam.
Let's get me out there, Chief Engineer.
Oh yeah. So we've got a 39.1 to beat.
39.1. Oh, it's a nice soft talk back you've got on these.
Alright, that's a Broadbent line, look at that.
That is. Outstanding outlaps, what they call tyre preparation. in the world of real motorsport, Jimmy.
See this way, you've got gravel in your tyres, right?
Yeah.
You have better off-road grip, because the back is a tread.
Yeah.
It's a very advanced technique, not many people know it.
Exactly. Oh, this is an outstanding exit, and of course this is going to be a great lap, right?
Tyre tread.
Are we going to have to reshoot this to make ourselves look better?
No.
Is that what we're going to? Is that what we're going to do?
I don't think I've
Absolutely not.
I don't think I've ever done that. And the problem is, my first laps always suck.
You'd never get a job in telly if you've not done that, Broadbent. What am I? 2.5 tenths down in sector 1? Tragic. Get over that apex curb. I'm not going to have the...
Look at that delta. Oh, I think you thousands, I think. Career's over, I think, boys.
What, mine? Yeah, I know.
Comment below whose career is over after this.
Both. Get on the track. Shut up. So they lock ratios for the year in LMP2, right? So obviously to get the right ratios for Le Mans, you have to use like really long ones. So you go down more gears than you think everywhere.
Oh, it's going to be a gig of that. What's been validating now over the chicane?
Will it into...
Oh no, it's not. It's clean. Shit, look at it. It's a second bronze driver status has been achieved. What's it? 1.4 seconds did it do?
Yeah. It'll happen to you. No, you're going to destroy me now. Go on.
Well, I'll have one more go, just for science, you know.
There you go. Remember to drive for a second. I win LMP2 forever. There you go. Nice.
I don't get
You don't get a second chance. I win, guys. So we'll give him a second chance.
Rubbish. Okay, we'll just cut this if I suck. Because there's no fear, and it's something I've noticed before with simulators, because there's no fear, you basically, it feels like everything has way less front end. So you're kind of like operating in a realm of like continuous patience arc. Racing drivers are sort of inherently kind of brave souls in some way. And you always end up going in too deep. Or I do. I just end up going in monstrously too deep everywhere. Because I just lack the patience. It's like all technique. It's why touring car drivers rock at simulators.
Yeah.
Too deep. Yeah. I try and go like faster by going faster. But you can't do that. Like you have to sort of I don't know, just touch its buttons somehow. Like it's a really weird thing. Okay, one more lap of this and then we'll talk about this properly. Boy needs to focus. It's not over. Dead. It's over. There we go. Whoa. Grotty. This car cares little for your desire to stop. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm off. Yeah, so about five laps again. It's taken me to do a cheaty one close to what you did. So whenever I jump in a sim, you try and go and find time. Impossible. You have to just think your way through it all the time. Whereas in kind of, I guess, in the world of racing, especially like downforce cars, there's a certain amount of that you can take from just being the one who's brave enough to do stuff. Like you felt that around the Nürburgring, right?
Yeah.
Like being the person who's brave enough to just launch through the Flugplatz. There are a group of pro drivers who translate to the sims really well. and there are a group of pro drivers who translate to sims really badly. And generally those who translate really well are the ones who are technically excellent, but might miss a bit of pencil lead. It tends to be the older ones. I mean, like, you know, some of the teammates I've shared with who are epic in the high-speed corners cannot sim. Just because they've made their careers out being the bloke who will.
So for nerds like me, that was super fascinating, hearing Alex talk about setting up the car and how the brakes worked differently, how LMP2s generally felt across the board, and then comparing it, of course, to LMU, and then his reaction to seeing how I drove the car. These are all things I find just infinitely interesting. But that was a modern day prototype. Nowadays, Alex is more into these sort of things. B-roll of cool Mustangs and GT40s going around. So let's see how he deals with a completely different car in a completely different simulator, whilst having to play with the knob. This is a pretty cool opportunity. So we have, of course, Alex here at the moment. Alex is one of the few people who's driven a GT40. You can be here, you can lurk. You can lurk and we can slowly zoom on you as I'm talking. That'd be really not unsettling at all. I don't think I've ever come across like a pro driver who has driven something like this and done some sim racing too, so they can talk about it and whether this is realistic or not. This video is mainly, by the way, for GP Labs. Jake is a historic sim racer only. Does a lot of very cool stuff, including
As in, it only drives historic sim?
Pretty much. So I'm going to show Alex this, get his opinion, using the Brundle cam I need to set up. Brundle cam TM. Ah! You know, there's one bit of advice that you gave me when driving this, or driving the Mustang. I've taken into sim racing and it helped. And it was like, always be on some throttle, like a tiny bit of throttle, just to move it around the corner or just to keep it going.
Yeah, otherwise you just plow.
And it works so well.
Effectively, all of the diffs are just really old.
Yeah.
Like in the way they work. So you're basically, the diff's completely open unless you're on the throttle a bit. It's just ridiculous. Bit of a money shift.
It's alright.
We love it.
No warning from the game, so it's fine. A bit hesitant there.
Does a cross-ply tyre well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It does a cross-ply tyre really well.
We've just come from, there somewhere, from driving the LMP2 at Imola. It's going to be more different.
I love us both complaining about the lack of front end in LMP2 at Imola, and now it's like, yeah, GT40 will definitely turn.
Yeah, but you can just remedy that with just the loud pedal in the car.
Somehow it makes sense though, whereas the lack of front end in a P2 car without all of the diplanes and stuff just doesn't make sense in the general speed of the car, the speed you turn up, the speed it slows down, etc.
Yeah. And this feels like very intuitive, you know, like if you smash the throttle you're going to spin, if you smash the brakes you're going to lock up. If you're doing anything too silly into the big brakes, I mean, if you don't hit the toe, like... Yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think of this, because this is
It looks about right. It's suitably terrifying.
Begin the simulation.
Oh yeah, that was to me. I was like, who's he talking to? Give it a clutch kick.
Give it a clutch kick. I'm loving this as like a simulator-only racetrack now.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of these. There are a lot of circuits people they don't exist.
Yeah.
You cannot race historic cars at Riverside.
No.
In real life, but you can in the simulation and have a pretty good time doing it.
I will learn this track eventually. Where am I going now?
It's that fast king.
It's the scary one. Are you flat in there?
Yeah.
I fear you.
But it's a wobble.
I fear your ability. Oh, actually, it's really not that bad. Right, what did you do, time-wise? Go on, make me sad. Quote me happy.
I think a 46 or a 45 would be a good time.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
It moves around. This is a part of sim racing that I think doesn't really get that much attention because everyone's too busy driving GT3 cars.
We were talking about kind of how obviously everybody competes so much in sim racing, it can overtake the joy of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Ooh, which gear do I want in there?
You want different ratios, but you want...
I really do. I'd like a lower second, but can't always get what you want. I want a more open diff on the power side. He came with the most unreasonable requests.
Please modify your...
Please modify your differential on the power side, or I shan't be driving your GT40 again, said the extremely relatable race car driver. I tell you what, I would never set up my ramp settings like this in my real GT40.
You'll be hearing from my father.
Oh, that was bad. That was really bad. I'm sorry for how bad that was.
Let's take this opportunity to give some better gear.
Do you want to just go somewhere else where I know this?
That's it. Is it like, right, what would you want?
Oh, you're actually going to give it to
Yeah,
me?
what do you want?
Diff locking coast. Let's go down to 10%. Oh no, on power side, sorry. It felt like we had just a bit too much locking on the coast side. If we can go slightly softer on the front suspension as well. Okay, so let's drop the front ride height just in by 3 increments of sausages. 4 sausages lower. Start the simulation. Isn't it weird how I'm sitting in a simulator, right? And it's exactly the same pedal set as we had for the LMP2 car. But just because I know I'm in a GT40, even when I don't have to shift down, I still go for the brake with my right foot. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I found that as well. I find it very hard to left foot brake in a car like this. Even in like a corner where you think, yeah, I would do that. I still come across with the right foot and just considering this car.
What's mental in here is that T70. Because to get it to turn in the mid corner, you have to have it just on the edge on the way in. I can see you thinking, damn it, now I've got to find a cutaway of that T70, that's a pain.
That's alright. That's for you, Jack. it shuttles, you know?
Yeah, it does. But that's how they have to be. You see how much they plough in the mid corner. So like in all of the old sports cars, I climb the curb on the way into Druids like that to get them to turn, and it's obviously effective on the sim as well. A little bit too effective actually. Inside curb here, yes. Oh, shut up. Got a bit more front end, haven't we now? This is much better, handling wise.
It's interesting here, like, so is that a change you would make on the real car?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So what I've asked it to do is I've put the front on the floor. So I've asked it to start turning in, and then I've opened open up the coast side ramps so it stays more open with the throttle, so you can turn the car with the throttle more through the exit, which is what I've done in comparison to my teammates in pretty much every single race car I've ever driven. Basically, go in too deep, come out sideways. Right, I'll do one more lap and I'll give it to the experts.
Gigantic Hawthorne crash.
So close to the apex.
Didn't want to do that.
So close to the apex, I could have almost got an Uber to it there. This has actually been not an unserious lap. A couple of slightly grotty apexes, but we are dealing cross-plies here.
41.7. Lovely. In comes the Broadbent. Why Broadbent walking?
The knob was loose. What are you doing this thing?
Fiddling with it.
I'm going to go for the brand type special.
Monstered it.
Or 40.2 there.
Monstered it.
Right. Do it.
See if I can get anywhere near that.
I reckon you can. I reckon you've got an idea.
So my style of driving a historic car, I'm going to have to change here for a sec. Because unless you keep this rear axle glued to the floor, your boy wants to slide around all over the place and not deliver any power to the racetrack.
It's just like that. It's that glide out the corner. It loves
Yeah.
that. It loves that.
Not as much as I do though in the real life car, where I will pitch this in.
Yeah.
They've set this up so you have to be like the simulation. You have to be incredibly smooth with it, which is it's kind of interesting. It's like there are 2 driving styles in real life for these. Like for example, Shedden is even more, and Huff when they drive them, like even more of a nutter than me. So they'll just go in, just throw it at the racetrack basically, and just carry so much speed that it actually doesn't matter how sideways they are. And then there are other people that drive them who are really good, like for example the way Andre drives them, where he will drive in the style which would work in this simulator. So he will drive it like it was a modern car, but with more patience. And that's actually probably a better way, just because there's less energy going on through the whole thing. This sim, as so many of them do, just punishes the sidewaysness. Right, 7, 8, 9, 39, 40, 41, terrible, pay attention. Right, let's see if I can get anywhere near this. Right, I'm hopeless at this one. Ha! Take off. Yay, I did a purple sector, Jimmy, look.
So better exit.
Congratulate
There's
me.
apparently someone from there today you weren't past.
Congratulate me.
Well done, mate. Apex is over there, actually.
I tried my best sticker.
I've got a Moser Racing sticker, which is about the best I can do, actually, on that.
Consumer. Right, if I could just, do better, I would be better.
I say that all the time. So I guess the real question, that, like, in terms of realism, how does this compare to the real thing to you? Like, what are the positives and the negatives?
Like, it's less connected on the throttle. Like, so you can leave, and I suspect it's because we've set our car up to deal with more different conditions. So, like, we've set R1 up to get in, and then you can slide it out on the throttle, but there's enough traction there that you're actually moving forward. This disconnects, like the rear tire's just a touch more radial. So this disconnects with the racetrack, and when you slide, you stop moving forward. But like in terms of like torque curve, power curve, the things that are easy to model, basic weight of the car, steering feels pretty good. Like that's more or less right. Braking, I would say it's slightly better than the actual car is. Like, just because this is kind of the braking you would get at the best time the actual car ever brakes. Like, ever. But it's every time. I would say that this is also, like, more or less what the cars are like. Okay, I've literally completely glass ceilinged at 41.2. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, everything is as good as the car ever is, but all together all at once. It's full on smooth as fast. You can't attack. Whereas like in the actual cars you attack way more. Then again, I guess it's sort of the nature of real driver tries simulator, or not necessarily real driver, but driver who drives only in real life tries simulator. It's the same thing realistically as we had with the LMP2 car, except the gap is bigger. The real cars are also set up like, for example, we don't change the setup if it rains. We don't change the setup much between tyre mileages. We don't change the setup much for more or less anything, because we go and do the spa 6 hours. You drive the thing for 6 hours on one set of tyres. And it kind of is what it is. You set the cars up like to be like more generally okay. As you know well, right? You share them between 3 drivers. And someone will ask you like, so who's the car set up for the most? And you'll be like, mate, if we can get it to like vaguely not plough off the road and be pretty good under traction, it's a good effort.
It's cool insight. It's always interesting to hear that from like someone that has more of an in-depth knowledge of the inner workings. And it's good because like I love this car.
If you asked me on a simulator which of the 2 cars we've driven I would be like better or worse, I would say I would be worse in an LMP2 car and better in this.
But I think also it shows that as a pro driver, you jumped into 2 cars and 2 different simulators. They can be more different, and you picked them up pretty quickly. Like I mean, like you are at a point where it's just a matter of laps. Like it isn't like you get in and you're like, oh my god, how do I drive car? Which a lot of people are like.
How cool was that? Massive thank you to Alex for being a good sport. I think he didn't want to let himself down too much on the sim. But he didn't. Not at all. Not for someone who doesn't really drive that much at home. And you could already see all those years of skills and knowledge passing over to the simulator, who knew exactly what to look for, he knew exactly what he wanted from the car. Even real life setup things that he would do to the car worked in the simulator, which sometimes doesn't work in sim. So it's really cool to see just how close these cars are. But make sure to check out Alex's YouTube channel down below, doing a lot of very cool stuff this year, and maybe I'll be on it. Who knows? And if you enjoyed this slightly more nerdy video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you all for the next video. Take care, have an awesome day. See you next time.